Good morning, class. Today you're going to be tackling an issue that I think a lot of you guys might face, which is how do I edit a PDF if I don't have a printer at home or if I don't have any paper to complete my assignment? So let's get into it. First thing, let's go into the hub, and we are first going to go to the folder week 9 of 14. All right, so on week 9 of 14, 914, we are going to go into the graphing practice PDF. So go ahead and click on this. And then you can just go ahead and download this. Okay, so once that downloads, it's going to go into your little downloads area right here. And after that, you can just go ahead and open up this thing that is called Small PDF. Search that up on Google. And then you can go ahead and click this. Oops. I go to the home page. Oh, so this is stuff that you guys might see. Which one was I at? I was at Edit PDF. Right. So you edit the PDF. You go to Edit the PDF. So PDF Editor, which is this one. Just going to drag and drop your graphing practice that's got downloaded right here. And you're going to put it right here. Boom. Now we have an easy assignment, or assignment that you can put your name on. So an easy way to put your name, you just put the text tool right here, and you're going to put, what am I putting? My name, Nick Lloyd. Aha, now you know my first name, period 1. And you don't really need to put the date because the date will show up. And you just move it right here. That's my name. All right. So let's go over this together with each other. We know in all of our graphs, we're going to need a title, axes, labels, a key. We're going to need scales also. So we're going to get into how to complete our assignments very easily. Okay. So let's do it together. So we're going to graph the following information in a line graph. Okay. So at this, we're talking about minutes versus speed. So for minutes versus speed, first thing we're going to tackle is, what is the independent variable? Now, if you remember from class yesterday on the 15th, I think, remember from class yesterday, we went over independent variables. So we should know that on your x and y axis in science, we refer to the independent variable as the x-axis. The dependent variable is referred to the y-axis, okay? So we should know that this one, I'm gonna put an I for independent. Oh, yes, because it's time. And then we're gonna put a D for dependent on the speed, okay? Next thing we're gonna do, what should we think that this answer is gonna be? What is the independent variable? Oh, well, I mean, with Mr. Lloyd just now, we know that the independent variable is always gonna be referred to our x-axis. And we should know that since we just put an I here for independent variable, that's gonna be our x-axis, okay? So that is our time, or, well, I'm gonna put time in minutes. Okay, what do you guys think the dependent variable is going to be? Thanks. This is not Dora the Explorer. It is speed. Know that the dependent variable is speed. Why, Mr. Lloyd? Because we always know that time does not change for anything, but your speed will change depending on how many minutes you have been driving. Okay. All right. So let's get into this next line. So we should know that our independent variable is going to be referred to our x-axis, and our dependent variable is going to be referred to as our y-axis. So I'm going to go ahead and help you guys out with this first question. We're going to label this out. So we're going to cross out this section because we're going to be handling the labels. Labels, okay? So let's go ahead and write down that, which is what? Minutes. Oh, wait, sorry. Ooh, undo. Speed. It's very hard to write like this. I would recommend that you just do the normal way, which is with the typing tool. Okay, so let's switch to the typing tool. We should know that this is going to be on the bottom, time. It says it right here. Okay. So the next thing that you're going to need to do, you're going to need to do your scales. So doing these scales, what we're simply going to be doing, we're going to be typing in the single number. So 1, we know that. And let's go to the type tool again, 2. And what else is in time? It goes all the way to 5. So we see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you can just keep going all the way up into 5. 3, 4, and we have 5. All right. So, and then we can just go ahead and input these speeds also. But first, let's line these up with the right points that we want. So I'm going to have these go 1 and then skip one beat. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, oops, 4, and then skip a line, and we get to 5. So we have. So guys, this next part is going to be a kind of difficult part if you don't pay attention. So you should pay attention to this next part. So scales for large numbers like this. So what you need to do is you need to make sure that all of the numbers will fit inside of the boxes. Okay. So let's figure out how many boxes there are going up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. All right. So we know that there are about 20 boxes here. So since I know that there's 20, I'm just going to write that down for a reference number right here on the side just to show my work. 20 boxes. So it's a 20. Let's go write 20. All right. So there's 20 boxes there. Now, next, we need to know the largest number that we are trying to achieve to find inside of here. So that's 4,100, okay? That's the largest speed that this guy got to. So let's put 4,100, okay? That is the largest speed. So what you're going to do with these two numbers, you are going to divide them. So when you divide these, 4,100 divided by 20, just put it into a calculator so you can see the exactness. So we're going to put 4,100 divided by 20. This gives us 205. So we should have increments of 200. Oops. Equals 205. All right, so we should know that increments of this should go in increments of 205 and so on. And so we would increase the numbers on each of the numbers, and all the way up to the top, we would get for sure, we would end up at 4,100. Okay, so let's try that out.
Good morning, guys. Thumbs up, thumbs down. How are you feeling? Yay. Oh, when you have a thumbs down, are you tired? Okay. Oh, I'm marking.
I'm going to be adding 205 to each of these just to show you guys on my calculator faster. So I'm just going to be adding 205 plus 205. It's going to give me 410, okay? So the next number is going to be 410. That's going to be on my second line. Make this text a bit smaller. So we have 205 here. Get out the way. 410 is a smaller number. 410 is the next one. That's number 2. 205 goes here. All right, and let's just keep it going. All you're going to be doing is adding 205 to each one. Plus 205, 615. Put that on the third line. Add 205, 820, 820, plus 205, All right, class, so once you reach this final portion where you get to 4100, I'm just going to type this last one out for you. 100. So now that we see that these are filled in, I'm just going to move them right here. This one, oops. Might be a little difficult, but all you have to do is finesse it. Now, this would be very easy if you were just simply on a piece of paper. You don't have to have all these filled out. It just has to be either every other one, or as long as I can see a trend of them going up in a certain way, it can still be correct. So next thing to do is to line them all up. So we're going to use this pen tool. And I guess I'll use the yellow color. And I'm then going to find my first point, which was at 0, 0, 0, and then 1, 100. So 1, 100 right in the middle. 2, 400, 2, and I have 410 right here. And then 3, 1000, 3, a little bit under the line, 1000. 4, 4000, 4, all the way up to here, about 4000, and at 5, we can see that the person came all the way up to 4100. From here, you can just make a linear line. I'm just going to use black, probably make this a tad bit smaller. And oops, it's kind of hard on a mouse, but you get the idea. So this is the trend that the person had as he was going faster, all the way up into 4100 millimeters per second. Okay. Now, one thing that this is missing, we don't really need the key for this one, so we don't need that one. We have the axes labeled. So we know that this is the independent and dependent variable. So we have this line going up and to the left. Next is for the title. So let's just say Nick's run to school. All right, now that we have the title, I think I'm just going to make this large. And there's my title. Don't have to be that big. All right, there we go. And that is how you do a full graph with 100. So everybody, I need to let everybody know that I did make a mistake here. So one mistake that I see obviously is that this graph is way too short. And this is a problem that I run into with a lot of my students from last year, but I did this kind of on purpose so you guys can see what a wonky graph might look like if they end up being way too short. Now, how to extend these, you simply do, we know that this is about 20 squares long. Since we know that this is 20 squares long, what I'm going to do is, and we know that we have about 5 things that need to fit inside of these squares. We can take 5, come on, we can take 5 and divide that by, just like what we did over here, 20. And that gives us about 1/4, or 0.25, okay? So basically, for every 4 squares, we're gonna put our number, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's where 1's gonna be. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's where 2's gonna be. Let me move 4 and 5 out of the way. All right, so then count another 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Put 3. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, boom. 1, 2, 3, 4. And there you go. So now my hand kind of hurts. It'd be easier on the touchscreen for the laptop. But so now what I'm gonna do, I'm going to fix this PDF and erase some of this old stuff. Uh-oh. Let me stop sharing. So next, let's just go ahead and delete all this stuff. Well, what I did before. Oh crap, too much. Delete that. Don't want to delete that. I want to delete that. I want to delete that. And so starting out from the beginning, our first point is 1 to the 100th place. I mean, to 100 meters per second. So I'll put my dot right there. And then 2 is at 400 meters per second. Oops, way too high. 3 is at 1,000. 4 goes all the way to 4,000. So now we can steadily see this increase a lot better. And these all don't have to be exact, they're approximations. And so the last one goes all the way up to 4,100. Then you could just draw that line all the way through that stuff. It doesn't have to be perfect, but this is way easier than what we did before. You see? So now we can see the trend of my run to school. Cool? All right.